What is up, my aesthetic boys? It's been a few days since I've had a chance to say that one again, but it's fresh, back with another r/ChoosingBeggars video. If you want to see just how much Jamie will discount her car, you've come to the right place. Will you take $40? 40? 45. Sorry, I've been out of the city. 45 is a deal. Oh, shoot, I was asking 45 because you never responded. I was just trying to get you to respond. Would you take 40 and I can pick it up tomorrow? Jamie, what's the lowest you can go in your car, as I've been told I've got cancer, which you will see if we meet. In my daughter's first car. Many thanks. Oh, hey, sorry, the price on the car is final. I've already reduced it a lot because of the small faults. 18-inch tall twin bed frame, $50. Yeah, but is that a firm 50? Well, shoot me an offer. I'll ask my mom what she could offer. It's for her because my dad is stage 4 colon cancer and he's coming home to die and we have to put her in a twin bed. Yeah, alright, let me know. When your entitlement gets you fired. Now, this all started nearly a year ago, but I've finally found the correct sub for it. Hold up for a sec. A lot of people say, you know, this happened a while ago, but I just found this sub and thought it would fit, and I'm just so amused at the idea of an interesting event happening in day-to-day life, and OP spends the next 2 years furiously scouring Reddit in a dark office, Cheeto-dusted fingers and Mountain Dew-filled bladder doing little to dissuade him in the search of this exact subreddit. Anyhow, I work in an office that incorporates a number of different departments for a medium-sized company. A 40-ish-year-old lady starts in the call center on Monday morning. She does not like that it's a call center and promptly quits, just after lunch. I don't know what job she thinks she signed up for, but that's it. She's gone just like that. But less than a month later, the same name comes up, listed as a new starter in marketing. Specifically, a small part of marketing that takes customer enquiries. They are, for all intents and purposes, a call center. Their phones are literally routed via skill set from the main call center. But being a marketing function, they have a pretentious title, Marketing Enquiry Executive. So that literally means it's their job to deal with enquiries about marketing. The executive part just means they do a thing. But of course, that doesn't faze our new hire, who is the same woman who left her previous job in the call center because she didn't want to work in a call center. On her first day, she parks in the closest space to the building, one of the disabled bays. She's asked to move her car by the receptionist, and our new hire replies, I was told as it's my first day I could take one of those spaces. I'm guessing her new manager meant one of the visitor spaces next to the disabled bays, but whatever. Allow me to describe the office parking situation, briefly. Directly outside the front door, there are 4 visitor spaces on one side with 2 disabled bays, and on the other side there are 6 spaces for high-level managers. All these spaces are clearly marked with paint on the tarmac and a sign about 2 feet high with either the person's name or visitor space 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You get the picture. The main staff car park is adjacent, literally split from these spaces by a 4-foot wide path. You can usually get parked here if you arrive to work on time, but if not, there is an overflow car park across the road. Again, less than 60 seconds walk to the front door of the building, even from its furthest corner. The next day, she's parked in a visitor space. We only have 4, and they're usually pretty busy. The staff car park is literally 4 feet of walking from the visitor spaces. She ignores the receptionist and leaves her car there all day. For the next few months, every time she's late enough to mean there's no space in the nearest car park, she takes either a visitor space or one of the managers. More than once, she's made to move her car during the day as the manager has turned up and wants to park in their space. I and others make snarky remarks to her every time we see her parking in a visitor space. Just visiting today, or I didn't know we could park there now, etc. Complaints are filed into her manager from all over the building, mainly reception. But she stops for a week or so, and then suddenly does it again. She's also just the worst kind of person. She'll move other people's lunches out of the fridge to fit her own, then she'll steal cutlery to eat it. If someone with a closer space than hers goes out to lunch with their car, she'll run out and move hers to the closer space. She treats everyone in the office like dirt. I manage the IT help desk staff here, and more than once, I have to remind her that my staff are her colleagues, not her servants. My favorite outburst of hers was when HR accidentally implemented a change that reverted everyone's email signature back to their original job title. Of course, hers changed to customer service representative, and she came storming over and laid into me, I am a marketing executive. She half whispered, half shouted in that weird way that Karens do. Eventually, she's told that with one more parking violation, she's gonna get fired. I know this because she's complaining about it while taking a lunchtime walk into town with a colleague, and I'm walking behind. I'm not deliberately eavesdropping per se, but she has one of those shrill Karen voices you just can't help but hear, even with headphones on. This time, it's about 2 weeks later. She's late in because she had to drop off her son at a nursery. I mean, lots of us do that every day with more than one child and still manage to get in on time, but, whatever. All the spaces in the closer car park are taken. Plenty just over the road. I can see out the front of the building from my desk. She sits at the junction and thinks about this decision. If she parks in a visitor space, she'll get fired. But how can she park in the overflow? After all, she's an executive. This will be tantamount to admitting defeat. She can't park a Mercedes, mind you, bottom of the range, A-class, $250 a month, she proudly told me, in the overflow car park. So she does it. Visitor space. Her manager has to come to look out the window as well and intercepts her on her way in the door. 20 minutes later, she's back out of it. Her colleague volunteers to pack up her desk for her and drives over to her house at lunchtime to deliver her stuff. Because she was still in a probation period, it had gotten extended from 3 to 6 months due to issues, shall we say. She doesn't need to be given or paid any notice. Just gone. Amazing. Over parking. Why, Karen, why? I know the decision between having to cross the street to get to work and not actually having a job at all is a tough one, right? A real Sophie's choice, the kind of choice no working mother should ever have to make. It's just... it's frustrating because it's believable, right? If we all didn't know a Karen like this in our lives, stories like this wouldn't be impactful. But I'm sure she'll find another totally not call center job as a marketing executive at some other firm. Jamie, what's the lowest you can go on your car? As I've been told my cousin has come down with a cold and is currently on crutches, which you could see if you saw him. It's my first car with leather seats. Many thanks. Hello, the recliner is up for sale. Yeah. Okay, so it's $80? No, it's $90. But I only have $80. It's $90, sir. Okay, Finn, wait about shipping. Well, I can deliver it anywhere in this area, otherwise you'll have to come pick it up yourself. I can't pick up. It's too far. I live 600 miles away. Oh wow, that is far. Still don't know why you'd want to tell me that, because I'm sure as hell not delivering it, but you do you. Karen tries to steal my name and my drink. I'm at the airport early, so I go grab a Starbucks fix while waiting for boarding. It's your typical airport Starbucks, long line, super busy. I order my simple, straightforward drink and a cookie, and sort of sidestep into the crowded little waiting area to make room for the people behind me to order. I say this because I want to point out that I can clearly hear the people at the register ordering. The girl behind me orders, and then a wild Karen appears. She was close enough behind me in line that I could hear her complaining and fussing, but far enough away that it was easy-ish to ignore. Thank you, young buffer girl. Karen proceeds to order her venti, double skinny, half calf, 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla and an extra shot with dairy-free whip and make that gluten-free latte. Huh. She squishes her yoga-panted butt in front of me, right at the counter, and proceeds to tap her fingernails loudly. Not 30 seconds later, she huffs an exasperated sigh, rolling her eyes heavenward so that the pin-straight edges of her asymmetrical haircut brush against the rhinestone pink logo on her hoodie. Then she starts snapping her fingers at the poor baristas. Hello, she screeches in her wannabe Jersey girl accent. Why do they always have that accent? I have a plane to catch here, hello! I feel for them, I really do. Thankfully, they ignore her, which I wish I could have. What I wouldn't give for an amulet of -2 to Karen awareness. Now you gotta roll for that, but I digress. After a grand total of less than 2 minutes, one of the poor, overworked baristas turns to the teeming throng of caffeine addicts. Zombie girl? He calls. Zombie girl? Before I can step up and see what he needs, as there is no drink in his hand, Karen shoves herself in the way, interjecting on her own snotty behalf. Zombie girl, was this iced or hot? Hot, Karen snaps. With dairy-free whip. And no gluten, I have an allergy. The barista looks puzzled, as my citrus tea wouldn't taste that great with whip, I assume. Wait, are you actually Zombie Girl? He asks, frowning. No, she's not, I pipe up. And it's iced, please. Well, I've been waiting a really long time, Karen snarls at me, the barista, or maybe the ghost that haunts the terminal and delays the flights of people like Karen. You were behind me, I reply, meeting her glare with one of my own. I continue my death stare, carefully honed after years of working management at a call center, until the barista calls her actual name and delivers her drink. She stomps off into the sunset, probably to annoy her flight crew. The barista gave me a cookie, so win? Yeah, I sure hope they gave you a cookie. You ordered one. But yeah, Karen's the type of customer to pretend someone else's order is her own for the express purpose of expediting her wait time over someone else's, and then complain how her drink wasn't what she had paid for because, well, someone else did. That's like the whole point of this situation, really, but I'm not getting the feeling that Karen has thought that far ahead just yet. I am more than sure that Karen will find something to complain about when the time comes. Jamie, what's the lowest you can go in your car? As I've been told my cat ingested a Barbie shoe earlier today, which you could see if you went to the vet with my cat. In my first blue car. Many thanks. I need someone to create an app for me. Task price, $25. That's not a typo, guys. $25. I have an idea of an app which may prove to be profitable. I am not computer savvy and don't know how, but I have a great idea and I need someone to work with and to help create it. You know, Casey Neistat probably said it best. Everyone has ideas for an app. The problem is actually conceptualizing and creating that idea. And it goes without saying, $25 is not gonna cut it. Choosing Beggar Mom wants me, a cancer patient, to homeschool her kid for free. Some background information. I beat breast cancer in my late 20s, and unfortunately, I recently just confirmed that it has returned. Just to stop the video for a quick sec, OP, I'm incredibly sorry to hear about that. Myself, along with, I'd guess, every single member of this audience, has been affected by cancer in one way or another, including but not limited to the loss of a loved one. You'll certainly be in my thoughts. I homeschool my almost 13-year-old. I'm not a fundamentalist or isolationist, I'm just a normal mom who feels that her particular child is well suited for independent learning. Keeping up with homeschooling during chemo sucked before, and I'm sure it'll suck again, but I plan to keep at it. My kids always had an easy time making friends and staying ahead with educational progress, so we are known as a success story for homeschooling going well. This is important. I received a call this morning from a number I don't recognize, but since it was my area code, I decided to answer. I ended up regretting that. This just happened, so quotes are as close to verbatim as possible. Hello? Is this 206? Yeah, who's calling? Oh, I'm this relationship to your goddaughter. She gave me your number a while ago for emergencies. Oh, okay. Now at this point, my interest is piqued, since the only reason to call me would be, obviously, for emergencies. But her tone doesn't seem particularly concerned. Look, I know you homeschool your son, and I'd like you to homeschool my son when school starts back up. He had some problems at school last year, and I don't want him going back. He's 8. Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm having some medical issues and homeschooling my son is going to be a real challenge for me. Besides, I homeschool him because he's my son. Do you mean that you're looking to hire someone to, like, privately tutor him independently full-time? Like an old school governess? Well, I'm working full-time and I can't afford to pay a nanny. I'll reimburse you for costs to pick him up and give the same amount for school lunches so you can feed him during the day. Look, I get that kids are expensive, I do, but you're not going to find anyone who will babysit for free all day, and you're asking for a lot more. I'm offering the same as the school. Why should it cost more than that? Look, lady, I'm not a governess. I don't have a lesson plan for a younger child, I'm not being paid by the school district, and as I already said, I'm going to have a hard time homeschooling the kid who's actually my responsibility. Look up this local resource group for homeschooling families, and they can help you figure out how to make this work. Fine. Click. Some people. I mean, at least she didn't curse me out or threaten me. I'm still reeling from the things I wish I'd added, like that anyone who will take care of your kid that cheap is someone you should keep away from, but I was so dumbfounded by her demands, I was speechless. I think I mentioned this during a Tales from Retail video, but I found Karen to be the most universally applicable character. A character that truly transcends subreddit boundaries and mixes into the worst the site has to offer. Well, no, I guess not the worst, but still not great. She's a choosing beggar for trying to pay someone the equivalent of a few bucks a day to babysit and teach her child, and finds herself right at home in any r/entitled blank subreddit under the sun, just on the fact that she tried to make this happen in the first place. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. Be sure to subscribe for more daily Reddit content. Drop a like if you liked the video, and I will see you all tomorrow. Jamie, what's the lowest you can go on your cars? I've been told you're a Virgo, and what with the recent eclipse of Mars' second satellite combined with a prolonged Venetian retrograde, you're supposed to be generous. Also, it is my daughter's first car. Many thanks.